Back on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in the search browser. Hit that subscribe button when you find us. We are free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review. And then, of course, give me a follow on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. You know, for a franchise that has had some of the best pitchers ever in Major League Baseball and had some of the most unbelievable pitching performances ever in the history of the game. Look, Tom Glavine's, game to win the World Series in 95 is one of the most clutch moments I've ever seen. But last night, what Spencer Strider did in his 8 innings, 2 hits, didn't allow a run, 16 strikeouts, with no walks in 106 pitches last night, is one of the great pitching performances ever in Atlanta Braves history. And here's the scary thought now. Is strikeout pitchers are going to have high pitch counts because, again, it's not a one-pitch ground ball out. It's swing and miss, takes you at least 3 pitches. But Strider learning to put guys away, to not waste pitches, to not give up hits, to not give any free passes should scare the bejesus out of the rest of the league. Because you go 16 strikeouts and no walks, the control on that is absurd. That's an absurd total. I can understand 16 strikeouts and maybe a couple, 3, 4 walks, but 16 strikeouts and you don't give up a single walk? If you're in Major League Baseball, you should be scared to death. And I said this a while back that I think there's a definite, I said it about the All-Star break, right? Hey, there's a definite chance that he might get to 200 strikeouts. Yeah, he's now he's sitting at what? 174 strikeouts in 114 innings pitched for him. 107. He's going to be a 200 strikeout pitcher this year. And I brought up Doc Gooden. Last night was Roger Clemens. I mean, what an unbelievable performance. There is no question that the Braves have the top 2 rookies in the National League. It's not even close. It's not even close. And at this point, I don't know how you sort out who's number 1, number 2. Now, what's interesting is I wanted to go back and look at something, okay? Has a team ever had the number 1 and number 2 rookie of the year? Has any team ever had teammates that finished 1, 2 in the rookie of the year voting? Well, believe it or not, it's happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times it's happened in Major League Baseball history. Guess when the last time was teammates finished 1, 2 in the Rookie of the Year voting? Any guesses out there? 2011 was the last time. Any idea who that was? Craig Kimbrell for the Atlanta Braves finished first, and Freddie Freeman of the Braves finished second. So the last team to do it was the Atlanta Braves with Kimbrell and Freddie Freeman. And by the way, the last time before that was in 1989 when Jerome Walton and Dwight Smith finished 1, 2 for the Cubs in Rookie of the Year voting. And most famously was 1975 when Fred Lynn was the Rookie of the Year and the MVP of the league, the first guy to do that, one of only 2 guys to do that, along with Ichiro, where he finished first in the MVP and Rookie of the Year, and Jim Rice finished second that year. But think about that. 2011, and then you got to go back to 1989. You got to go back to when George Bush, the first guy, was president. That's how far back it has to go. What these 2 guys, Michael Harris and Spencer Strider, have done is nothing short of remarkable for a World Series championship team. And by the way, in 75, with Lynn and Jim Rice, remember, they went to the World Series that year with that young core and that group that they had, because Dwight Evans had only been there a couple of years. Fisk had only played for a couple of years. They had a few veterans on that team. But the infusion that these 2 guys have brought to this team, honestly, it is completely, I think, changed up the dynamic of what this team is. And now comes the hard part that we'll talk about in just a second. But first, let me talk about my friends over at Coffee AM, coffeeam.com. You know that they're the best small batch coffee roaster in America. I'm enjoying their coffee every single morning. Every morning, get up. First thing I do, get up. Well, I use the bathroom, but then I go and make a pot of coffee of coffeeam.com's coffee. Look, you're looking for organic coffees. You're looking for flavored coffees. You want K-Cups. Whatever you need is at coffeeam.com. So what I want you to do is go to coffeeam.com/locked-on, okay? Get there, go through their menu. They've got coffees. They've got teas. They've got gift sets. You need a mug, whatever you need. They've got all kinds of little things there at coffeeam.com/locked-on. Put together that first order that's there. And when you get your first order put together, get to checkout and put the coupon code locked on, LOCKEDON, locked on at checkout. You'll get 15% off that first order. Coffees, teas, gift set, doesn't matter. Whatever you buy on that first order, they're going to give you 15% off simply by using the coupon code locked on at checkout, LOCKEDON. They're here in the state of Georgia, up in Canton. Locked on is the coupon code. Coffeeam.com is the best small batch coffee roaster in America. But there is no question about how good these guys have been. And now the question becomes this: where do you start Strider in the playoffs? And we had our hangouts last week, and we were sort of talking about this. There is a difference between, and I know people aren't going to like this either, there's a difference between where he probably should pitch and where Snitker's actually going to pitch him. Well, you're hating on Snitker again. No, there is a difference between those two things, because there's no way you can tell me in a playoff series that you wouldn't want Spencer Strider as your number 3 star. Look, Max Fried is my ace, and he's going in game number 1. And you ain't going to convince anybody, or at least on this side of the camera, that he and your number 1 and your Bulldog starter, okay? So he goes number 1. I give Kyle Wright the ball in number 2. I think he's earned every bit of that, and he's been outstanding for the Braves. And I love Charlie Morton, and he's done a lot of good things. But right now, with that stuff that Strider's got, and he's Dwight Gooden mowing guys down, I'm giving him the ball in game 3. I don't care if he is a rookie or not. Now, Snitker most likely will probably pitch Charlie Morton, which is not an awful decision. It's not nearly as bad as the pitching Dallas Keuchel over Mike Soroka decision a few years ago in the Cardinals series. But look, worst case scenario is Strider's going to pitch game 4, right, in a playoff series. But that performance last night is one of the great regular season performances ever for an Atlanta Brave. For a franchise with Hall of Famers everywhere. Negro's a Hall of Famer. Spahn's a Hall of Famer. Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz, and all the other great pitchers that they've had great. No, Russ Ortiz was a 20-game winner here. Denny Nagel had some great years here. Right? For all of the pitching that the Atlanta Braves have had, that performance last night by Strider is one of the all-timers. And him and Harris at this point are going to run away with the Rookie of the Year. And to think about going into this season, as we talked about, for a guy to come up from Mississippi, didn't start the year in Gwinnett for the Stripers, played in Mississippi, jumped right up to the big club, and Spencer Strider 2 years ago, pitching for Clemson University, wins a job in camp, starts in the bullpen, injuries happen, throw him into the starting rotation, and 200 strikeouts later, mowing people. I mean, he is mowing people down. I asked some guys at an event I was at last week, former Braves, Marquise Grissom, Greg McMichael, Andrew Jones. I was like, do you guys remember seeing anybody that just reared back and fired the way that Strider does? And they said Dwight Gooden was one of the guys, but other than that, like, you don't see this out of young pitchers, that you just come in, rear back, fire, and good luck trying to hit it. So the Braves are going to finish 1-2, as they were the last franchise to have the 1-2 Rookie of the Year. They're going to have it again this year. It speaks to their development, their ability to scout, draft, everything. And that's been the underrated part of what this run has been over the last few years, how good they've developed their young players. All right, when we come back, some thoughts about the weekend in the world of college foosball. Hitting hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked on Sports Atlanta.